8-12, and I'm going to do basically the same thing, but I've generated just some kind of random numbers over here that are similar to yours, same range and everything, and I want to show you a couple different ways. But first it says draw a graph, okay, and I'm going to show you a way that we're going to end up needing to do things using this. So come up and click your file, click options, okay, then click add-ins, okay, and I've already got them added into mine, but come down where it says manage Excel add-ins, make sure you've clicked on Excel add-ins and then hit go. Okay, you need to make sure then you'll have to click the analysis toolpack, VBA, and the solver add-ins. We won't use all of them here, but we will be using all of them, so make sure you've got those. Okay, and then click OK. So it says draw a graph showing the population distribution. Well, first I did this. Okay, yeah, I don't need to do that. I'll just show you how to do this then. Okay, what we're gonna do here is called a histogram. Okay, and the way we draw that is we come and we click on the data, and this is one of those add-ins. Okay, and so we'll click on that and we'll click data analysis, and we come down and you can see there's more things, but right towards the bottom here, and they're alphabetical, it says histogram, so hit OK. Okay, and my input range is going to be my range of values, right? My bin range, and I think you want to take an extra one. I don't know why, but let's just do an extra one. I think because of the labels, it'll use the top one. If I didn't use labels, I wouldn't have to. Okay, but okay. And in fact, I'm gonna go back, and here I'm gonna take my input range and I'm gonna include, because I want to make sure, because I got labels, so I think that's going to be my top ones then. Okay, I include labels. Okay, my output range is where I'm going to put it, and so careful here, because sometimes you click on this and then it takes you back up to here, and so you want to make sure that you get your output range, and then you just click on a cell where I want my output to be, and then you got to come down here and make sure that your chart output has a check, otherwise you're not going to get a chart. Okay, and then click OK, and let's see what happens here. Okay, boom, there we go. So hopefully my frequency is here, right? So I have 2 2s, and that's similar to over here. I have 3 3s, I have 7 4s, I have 4 5s, okay, and I have 3 6s, and I have 1 7, looks like. Okay, and that would be consistent, and I did a count thing over here that worked as well. So that gives us our graph that we want. Then it says compute the mean of the population. Well, here's my population. Okay, I'm just going to come down here, put my little line under there, but I'm going to come down an extra. Ooh, my line didn't show up, or didn't I do it? There we go. Come down an extra one, and I'll come up here, and my mean's just my average, right? I just want to grab those, hit my enter. Holy cow, my mean's an actual, honest to goodness, 4. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Wow. Okay, yeah. Apparently, and then it says select 5 random samples of 5 each. Okay. Oh, that's kind of odd. So how do I do that? And it gives you different ways, right? I could say I want the first, the first, the third. Yeah, that's probably. Let's start here and do 1. I'm gonna just kind of color code these then, maybe. So we'll have orange. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I got, what do I have 20, so yeah, so I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay. And I might color code these ones something different, and that's one random way to do that. And actually, obviously, that's not going to give me 5 samples, but then I'm going to have 3, Okay, I'm going to have a 5, I'm going to have another 5, I'm going to have a 4, and I'm going to have another 5. Okay, then I got to go do my next ones, and then I can do it this way. That's fine. I'll make these ones green, and and then I can do green and green, and I'm just doing this to help me, to remember, kind of. Okay, so now I have a 2 and a 6 and a 7 and a 2 and a 3. Okay. Okay, well, that's all right. But now, if I do these, I'm going to have 4 of my samples are really going to include, and it's just going to kind of be a population. So I want to get a little more random than that. So I might just do this. Okay, I might come and I do a rand between. Okay, and you might have to look for that. My bottom number is, oops, I'm gonna switch this. I'm gonna come down here and put it over here. And I'm going to do a rand between with my bottom number of 1 and my top number of 20. Now I have to be a little careful because I don't want it to duplicate. So in this case I'm using the second one, okay, which let's do this. 1, 2. This is going to get a little confusing with my numbers over there on the side, but there we go. So I'm going to use my second one, which is number 2. Okay. Now I'm going to recalculate this, and I can come up and do formulas and calculate now. Oops, that screwed up my deal there. I don't know what the heck it did there. Okay, it doesn't matter. I didn't need that anyhow. But now I want the 11th one, which is a 4. And I think there's a way I can do that too, and I don't remember what the heck it is. So calculate now, 17, which is a 5. Calculate now, 9, which is a 5. And calculate now, and I get 7. I didn't have any duplicates. Okay, I mean I got the same number there, but it wasn't the same from over here. Okay, and so that. I can keep repeating that. I can do calculate now. I got 6, which is 6, okay, and 9, which that duplicates this one, but not this next row, which is fine. That's a 5, okay, and 10, which is a 7. 9, that's a duplicate, isn't it? So I'm going to do it again. 4, okay, which is a 5, and 7. I can't remember. Was one of these a 7? Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to redo that. 3 I haven't done, so that's a 3. Okay. So I could do that. I could do a random number thing. I could have done it like this too. Maybe, yeah, that's all 3s. I'm sorry, so that didn't work out, but I think I can do this and it'll change them all. Right? And then I could make sure I didn't have any duplicates there. So for this one, let me do that. So I got 16, which is 4, 14, which is 2, 19, which is 4, 17, which is 5, and 11, which is a 4. Okay. Then I don't need this anymore. But it says compare so you select 5 random samples of each, compute the mean of each sample. So now I want to do the mean of each of these samples. Okay, the easiest way to do that is just to come up and I'll do the 1. Okay, boom, that's that. Boy, that doesn't look right. They can't all be the same, can they? Oh, they can't all be the same, so I gotta see if I got something going on here. Hang on a second here. Okay, I don't know why it's not filling down there. Maybe when I'm recalculating the formula and I got that in there or something, it does something funky. Okay, so if I go through these individually, and that just seems weird that I should have to, okay, Yeah, that kind of makes sense. That could be. I'm going to make sure this one's okay. I didn't do that, but okay. And then this one I've already done, and then this one. Okay, those look okay now. I had to go through those individually. Sorry, you might want to check. You know, I guess that's one of those when it showed up the same, I knew something was wrong. So it says compare the mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean to the population mean. Would you expect the two values to be about the same? So what it's asking for then is, I've done the mean of each of these, you know, and they're kind of close to that. But what if I do the mean of the means? Does that make sense? Yep, I want to just catch those right there. And I end up with 4.36. That looks pretty close. Okay, that looks like it's probably right. It's a little more than this one. Okay, but it's okay. I think it's close, yeah. And then it says draw a histogram of the sample means. Do you notice a difference in the shape of the distribution of the sample means compared to the shape of the population distribution? So I'm going to do a histogram of this. Oh, that's going to be kind of interesting. Let's see how that works. Huh. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to hit my data analysis, my histogram. Okay, my input range is just this. My bin range is still going to be, yeah, this. Okay. So my bin range is right here, and again I'll include labels. So I need to, I think, include one extra one here. So I've kind of got a label. My output range I want to change and change it down. Make sure that I click there and change it to down here, and I do want chart output. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that creates kind of an interesting look, I think. So I don't know if that's right or not. I'm going to redo that and take a look. Okay, what I had to do to make this thing kind of work right, and I think it's a little bit goofy, but I had to go in and basically put in these values to make my bin, is what this is called, the bin. Okay, so I had 3.8, 4, 4.4, 5.2. Obviously there's two of these and one of each other. And so, you know, in our case, does it look similar? Yeah, not really. Is there a the thing that you would notice, of course, is that there's much less dispersion, right? We go from 3.8 up to 5.2. Actually, it's bigger than I might have expected, but here we go from 2 to 7, right? So there's a lot more dispersion here. One thing I need to note is I didn't have my average here. I had said it was 4, and that was incorrect. What I had done wrong simply was I hadn't expanded that, and so it had 4, but if I expanded my decimals it was 4.3, which made more sense, and my mean of my sample means is 4.36, so it is quite close. So again, the means very close, the dispersion much less, of course, in the sample means.